If we have a look at the most formally recognized evidence relating to Christianity, you have a look at the Dead Sea Scrolls. What we learned from that is that there was a group of people, because this, from what I understand, is the only time where they've actually seen recorded evidence referencing Jesus Christ, the sons of light, right? And they make reference in the Dead Sea Scrolls to these group of people known as the Essenes. And this religion, call it what, it's not really a religion, not by my understanding. It deals with a Gnostic tradition, more of a spiritual tradition of Christianity. The Gnostics were one of the earliest branches of Christianity, and it ties to the Hermetical tradition. But the idea within Gnosticism, which is something that I actually very much do understand, is, well, one, they had a very different understanding of Christianity to the mainstream tradition. They looked at Jesus Christ as someone that came down to separate the wheat from the chaff. He was more of a combative figure, and essentially was trying to liberate beings from the tyranny of the world. And in the Gnostic tradition, in fact, you'll find it's a very common thing you find within the wisdom traditions. For instance, dating back to Pythagoras, who's by the way was the first universal genius. I mean, you have a look at ancient Greece, and you have a look at the ideas that form the Western society around spirituality and so forth. These are taken from, you can actually trace this from ancient Greece to ancient Egypt. Pythagoras, right, who was a student of ancient Egypt, who perpetuated the same teachings as the Essenes. And I say this because I'm someone that has deeply studied this kind of stuff. And it is a common theme within the school of thought that these people lived off of a plant-based diet. Unequivocally, Pythagoras did. In fact, what it meant to be a vegetarian in ancient times was to be a Pythagorean. So over 2,000 years ago, I wrote a book on this, bro. Wow. It's called Vegan Prince Warrior King. Wow. But basically, Pythagoras went about having his students do a lot of things that would be considered weird, like they'd have to go for a year of not speaking to discipline them. But a big proponent of his tradition, which was the Pythagorean diet, which required people to abstain from eating animals, right? Most people speak about the ethical and then the physical effects and so forth, but there is a spiritual idea in regards to trying to purify yourself. And look, I realize that this kind of stuff seems very foreign to a lot of people here, but if you have a look at the tradition of the Essenes, which is referenced within the Dead Sea Scrolls, this Gnostic tradition, which is the earliest branch, one of the earliest branches of Christianity, right? And you have a look at religions like Manichaeism and Zoroastrianism, and these are very Gnostic traditions. They very much follow this idea of abstaining from violence towards all living beings.